Have you ever noticed how some people only remember your worth when they need something? When it benefits them, you're their first call. But when you need the same energy back, silence. These people don't value you. They value what they can take from you. They disguise their selfishness as friendship, their demands as favors, their manipulation as loyalty. And as long as you keep saying yes, they'll keep using you. Trust is a tricky thing. It should be mutual, but for some, it's just a tool to get what they want. It's like a well in a village. People drink from it without a second thought, assuming the water will always flow. But when it runs dry, they walk away, searching for the next well. Or think of a fire on a cold night. Everyone gathers around for warmth. But when the fire needs fuel, when it needs care, no one steps up. They assume it will burn forever, until it fades, until it's gone. The truth is, some people only appreciate you when you stop giving. The moment you cut off their supply, their real intentions are exposed. The ones who truly respect you will stay. The ones who only saw you as useful. They'll disappear. And trust me, that's a blessing, not a loss. So how do you recognize the signs before you're drained dry? How do you protect yourself from people who only take? Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll never look at these so-called favors the same way again. If this opened your eyes to the hidden traps of so-called favors, then make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Protecting yourself from being used starts with awareness. And the more people who know these truths, the harder it becomes for manipulators to take advantage. Drop a comment below. Have you ever been in a situation where someone tried to use you for their own gain? Let's talk about it, because the more we share, the stronger we become. Number 1. Never lie for anyone, because they'll never tell the truth for you. The moment someone asks you to lie for them, they're not just testing your loyalty, they're testing how much they can control you. It may seem harmless at first, a small cover-up, a white lie, a tiny bending of the truth. Just tell them I wasn't feeling well. Say I sent that email. It's not a big deal. But the truth is, it is a big deal. Because once you compromise your integrity for someone else, you hand them the power to manipulate you. Lying for someone isn't an act of friendship. It's a sacrifice of your own reputation. And here's the real danger. If they're comfortable asking you to lie for them, they have no problem lying to you. Today, they need your silence. Tomorrow, they'll twist the truth about you. Suddenly, you're the one to blame, and they walk away untouched. Integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. That's what C.S. Lewis said, and he was right. People who ask you to lie for them don't respect you. They only respect what they can get from you. The moment you stop playing their game, you'll see their true colors. Take Jake, for example. He had a friend who started with small favors, covering for him when he was late, pretending he finished tasks he didn't do. Jake went along with it, thinking he was just helping. But one day, that same friend asked him to take the fall for a serious mistake at work. That's when it hit him. This wasn't about friendship. It was about control. And when Jake finally said no, that friend turned on him instantly, calling him disloyal. That's when Jake learned, people who build their world on lies will never stand by the truth. So how do you handle this? Simple. Say no. No explanations. No debates. Just affirm, I don't do that, and watch their reaction. If they guilt-trip you, pressure you, or act like you owe them, Walk away. Because losing a liar isn't a loss, it's a win. Number 2. Stop lending money to those who see you as an ATM. Lending money is never just about dollars, it's about trust. When someone borrows from you with no intention of paying it back, they're not just taking your money, they're showing you exactly how little they respect you. At first, they come with a sad story, a desperate plea, a promise to pay you back soon. They assure you, "I got you next time," or "You know I'd do the same for you." But soon never comes. And that favor, it was never a loan. It was a test to see how easily they could take from you. Here's the hard truth. Borrowing without accountability is a sign of entitlement. These people don't see your generosity as kindness. They see it as something they deserve. And if they feel comfortable taking from you without giving back, what else are they willing to take? Your time, your energy, your trust. Because make no mistake, someone who can disregard a financial debt will have no problem disregarding other responsibilities in your life. Seneca once said, "A loan creates an enemy." Why? Because money changes relationships. The moment you ask for it back, the excuses start. Suddenly, you're the bad guy for expecting fairness. They'll say, "Why are you so worried? You have enough." Or, "I'll get it to you eventually. Stop nagging." But the truth is, the moment they borrowed without intending to return it, they had already disrespected you. Look at David's story. He had a close friend who frequently borrowed small amounts, $20 here, $50 there. It seemed harmless, but every time David asked for repayment, the response was always, "I'll take care of that soon." But soon never came. Then the friend asked for a larger sum. That's when David finally said no. And just like that, the friendship ended. Because it was never about the friendship, it was about what they could get. So how do you handle this? First, never lend what you're not willing to lose. If you choose to give money, consider it a gift, not a loan. Second, pay attention. Responsible people pay their debts without being asked. And most importantly, understand that saying no reveals true intentions. If someone only values you when your wallet is open, they never valued you at all. Number 3. Keeping their secret could cost you everything. Just keep this between us. Sounds simple, right? But when someone asks you to keep a secret that protects their wrongdoing, they're not just asking for silence. They're asking you to carry their guilt. And the moment you agree, you're no longer just an observer. You become a part of the lie. It starts small. Maybe they messed up at work and need you to cover for them. Maybe they did something unethical and want you to look the other way. They'll say, "Come on, you're my friend," as if friendship means sharing in their dishonesty. But here's the truth. If they're comfortable deceiving others, they'll have no problem betraying you when things go south. Because when their secret gets exposed, who do you think they'll blame first? Marcus Aurelius once said, "Silence becomes cowardice when occasion demands speaking the whole truth." Choosing to stay quiet in the face of dishonesty isn't loyalty, it's self-sabotage. People who drag you into their secrets rarely take responsibility when the walls close in. Instead, they throw others under the bus to save themselves. And guess who's standing right next to them? You. Sarah learned this the hard way. She had a co-worker who was always looking for shortcuts. One day, he asked her to cover for him, saying he had been working late when he hadn't. She hesitated, but agreed, not wanting to stir up trouble. Then it happened again, and again. The favors got bigger, the lies grew deeper. And when the truth finally came out, her co-worker didn't step up. He let Sarah take the fall. That's when she realized protecting someone else's deception never ends well. So how do you protect yourself? First, set a hard boundary. The moment someone asks you to cover for them, shut it down with a firm, "I don't get involved in things like that." Second, watch their reaction. A trustworthy person will respect your stance. A manipulator will guilt trip you. And finally, remember this: real trust is built on truth. If someone only values you when you help them hide things, they don't respect you. They just see you as a shield for their lies. Never compromise your integrity for someone else's mistakes, because once you protect a lie, you become the lie, and nothing destroys trust faster than deception. Number 4. Refuse to take the blame because they'll let you drown alone. "Come on, just this once. I'd do it for you." Sound familiar? It always starts small. They forgot to send an email, missed a deadline, or made a mistake in a social setting, and now they need a scapegoat. They frame it as a favor, as if your loyalty is measured by how much damage you're willing to absorb for them. But here's the cold truth. The moment you agree, you set a dangerous precedent. You become their safety net, and the more they get away with it, the more they'll rely on you to clean up their mess. Seneca once said, "A dishonest man always blames circumstances, never himself." And that's exactly the kind of person who will ask you to take the fall. They don't see mistakes as lessons. They see them as something to unload onto someone else. And if they've done it once, what's stopping them from doing it again? Alex learned this the hard way. He had a co-worker who always found ways to dodge responsibility. One day, this co-worker made a major error on a project and asked Alex to cover for him. "Just say, 'It was a miscommunication between us,'" he said. Alex, being a good-natured person, went along with it, thinking he was helping. But then it happened again, and again. Every time something went wrong, this co-worker had a way of shifting the blame onto Alex. And when their boss finally got fed up, it wasn't the co-worker who faced the consequences, it was Alex. That's when he realized people who refuse to take responsibility will always find someone else to carry the burden for them. So, how do you handle this? First, say no immediately. The moment someone asks you to take the blame, set a boundary. "I'm not responsible for your mistakes." Second, pay attention to their reaction. If they get defensive or try to guilt trip you, that's a clear sign they never respected you in the first place. And finally, distance yourself from people who avoid accountability. Because someone who won't own their mistakes today is someone who will sacrifice you to protect themselves tomorrow. At the end of the day, true strength comes from taking responsibility, not running from it. Never carry the weight of someone else's dishonesty, because once you do it for them, they'll expect you to do it forever. Number 5. Your skills aren't free. Stop letting people exploit you. "Hey, can you do this for me real quick?" It sounds harmless. A simple favor, a small request. And because you're generous, you say yes. But then it happens again and again, until one day you realize this person isn't asking because they appreciate your skills. They're asking because they know they can get something from you for nothing. There's a fine line between being helpful and being used. If someone truly values you, they will respect your time, effort, and expertise. They won't just take, they'll give back, whether through gratitude, a fair exchange, or at the very least, respect. But users, They see your generosity as an endless well, something they're entitled to, not something they should appreciate. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not waste yourself in rejection. Do not throw away your days in useless resentment. Your time, energy, and talents are valuable. Wasting them on people who take without giving only leads to frustration and burnout." If someone keeps coming to you for free work without gratitude or reciprocation, you're not being helpful. You're allowing yourself to be drained. Emily, a talented graphic designer, learned this the hard way. A friend asked for a quick logo design, and she happily did it for free. Then, the same friend asked for another, and another. Every time, Emily felt guilty saying no. But when she finally hinted at charging for her work, the response was, "Wow, I thought we were friends." That's when it hit her. Real friends respect your skills. Users only respect what they can get from you. So, how do you handle this? First, set boundaries. The next time someone asks for free work, kindly but firmly let them know your time has value. Second, watch their reaction. A good person will understand. But if they get upset, that's proof they never valued you in the first place. Finally, remember this. Generosity should be a choice, not an obligation. Helping people is a good thing, but only when it's mutual and appreciated. If someone only comes to you when they need free work, they don't see you as a friend or a professional. They see you as a resource, and that's not someone you should keep around. Number 6. Covering for them. Today will make you their doormat tomorrow. "Hey, can you do me a favor?" It starts small, clocking them in when they're late, fixing a minor mistake, finishing up a task they forgot. You tell yourself it's just once, but then it happens again and again. Before you know it, you're not helping them, you're carrying them. And the worst part, they don't see your effort as kindness, they see it as an expectation. People who ask you to cover for them aren't looking for a teammate, they're looking for a shield. They don't want to take responsibility. They want someone else to absorb the fallout. And when things go wrong, guess who takes the blame? Not them. You. Epictetus once said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." And that's exactly what happens when you keep bailing someone out. The more you say yes, the more you lose control over your own time, energy, and reputation. You become the safety net for someone who refuses to stand on their own. Take Adam, for example. He had a co-worker who always seemed to be in a bind. At first, it was small favors. "Clock me in, I'm running late. Can you tweak this report for me?" Adam, wanting to be a good teammate, said yes. But soon, the favors became demands. And one day, when a major mistake happened, that same co-worker was quick to point the finger. Adam was handling that part, not me. And just like that, Adam realized he wasn't helping. He was being used. So, how do you stop this cycle? First, set a hard boundary. When someone asks you to cover for them, say, "I can't do that." No explanations, no debates. Second, watch how they react. A responsible person will understand. A manipulator will guilt trip you. And lastly, remember this. Reliability is a strength, but only when it isn't being exploited. At the end of the day, responsibility isn't something you can hand off like a burden. If someone refuses to handle their own duties, they don't deserve your trust. Cover for yourself, not for people who refuse to do their part. Number 7. If they won't risk anything, why should you? Ever met someone who's full of big ideas, but only if you take the risk? They talk about opportunities, once-in-a-lifetime chances, and trusting the process. But when it's time to invest time, money, or effort, they step back and let you take the leap. And when things go wrong, they're nowhere to be found. These people don't see you as a partner. They see you as a pawn. They want you to gamble everything, your reputation, your resources, your future, while they sit comfortably on the sidelines, waiting to reap the rewards if it all works out. And if it doesn't, well, you didn't have to do it. Sound familiar? Seneca once said, "The willing are led by fate, the reluctant are dragged by it." When you allow someone to push you into taking risks they wouldn't dare take themselves, you're not living on your own terms. You're being used. You're being dragged into their plans, their convenience, while they remain untouched by the consequences. And here's the worst part. People like this never step up when it's their turn to sacrifice. Just ask Ryan. He had a friend who always had big ideas, business ventures, investments, risky projects. Every time he'd say, "Trust me, this is the next big thing. You should put in the money first and I'll join later." Ryan, believing in their friendship, invested his time, energy, and savings. And when things didn't work out, that same friend just shrugged and said, "You didn't have to do it." That's when Ryan realized this was never about partnership. It was about finding someone else to take the fall. So how do you protect yourself? First, ask a simple question. Are they taking the same risk? If the answer is no, walk away. Second, set a firm boundary. I'm only in if we both contribute equally. And finally, trust actions, not words. If they truly believed in the risk, they wouldn't hesitate to take it with you. At the end of the day, real trust is built on shared effort and responsibility. If someone expects you to risk everything while they stay safe, they don't value you. They're using you. Know your worth, protect your future, and never carry risks that others refuse to share. At the end of the day, trust isn't just about words, it's about actions. The people who truly value you will never ask you to sacrifice your integrity, your energy, or your future for their convenience. And the moment you stop allowing yourself to be used, you'll see who was really there for you, and who was only there for what they could take. If this resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever been in a situation where someone took advantage of your kindness? Let's talk about it, because awareness is the first step to self-protection.